Oh, that was a stunning home we just saw at Wayville. Today in the studio, if you're just joining us, we have Ros Brebner from Presenting Beautiful Homes, a stylist there, and we're talking about how to present your home for sale or for lease. Ros, welcome. For our viewers today who've just joined us, I just want to touch on a subject that's really popular on the television at the moment. That's about hoarders and clutter. Tell me your worst clutter thing you've ever seen.
That's a bit tricky. They're actually friends of mine now. They were early clients. And I just couldn't believe she had stuff everywhere. Beautiful pieces, but they lived in a very small courtyard home and there was just too much happening. Right down to little miniature photographs of people on top of her little microwave, and they were all her deceased friends. And I said,
scary.
well, they will need to go. But that's certainly up there.
And what's worse, kids with their clutter or adults with a hobby?
Adults with a hobby, I think.
So what hobbies have you seen of interest?
Recently, a model car collection. There was a hint of it in the house, and then we had to go out to the detached studio, and every wall and shelf was full of model cars.
Wow, so what did you do with them all?
Well, I just, the wife said, don't talk about the model cars. She said, we know what has to happen, it has to all come out. I said, yes.
Yeah.
So usually one person in the couple, if it is a couple, understands that it's an issue and it needs to be changed.
So what about areas like garages and carports? Does that matter what they look like?
Oh, they need to be empty where possible. A lot of people will use the garage for storage. Yep. The excess items go in there, and that's fine. I just suggest that they speak to their sales partner about that.
And when we look at the rental side, there's a lot of big ticket items that come up like heating and cooling, etc. From an energy efficiency perspective, do you think that's something that's important in terms of aesthetics, how it looks now?
Not really.
No,
but I
matter.
think in terms of sale, it's going to become more and more important as we all go gain a better understanding of where we're at with green and friendly. I think that there'll probably be ratings on houses, and as well as this has 2 bathrooms and 2 carports and whatever, how many bedrooms, it'll have a rating for energy efficiency as well.
You know how you have the rainwater tanks, sometimes they look a bit ugly if they're the red plastic or the green plastic. How do you keep it looking nice while still adhere to good, environmentally friendly, efficient?
Well, I would always say to people installing rainwater tanks, tuck them away or bury them.
Bury them, that's a big thing to bury.
That's right, but I do see some in unusual places. And the last thing you want to do is look out a bedroom window and see the narrow linear rainwater tank.
And we touched briefly on pets before. Tell me what you do with people who have them inside the house. What sort of impact can that have?
I think most people, if you're a dog or a cat owner, aren't aware of the smells that has on a home. So I would normally broach that subject with clients, and a lot of people are already preparing themselves to have their favourite pet placed in a kennel or with friends, or at least kept outside for the duration of the time that the property's on the market.
That could be a new business opportunity, pet minding service during opens. Ros, got a couple of emails here. I've got one here from Liz Alexandra. I'm about to sell my home and my property is very colourful, where there are a lot of walls in different colours. Should I leave my home like this, or will buyers find my home more appealing if all of the walls are white?
I think we touched on earlier, that neutral is better, because it's easier for people to envisage their furnishings in a neutral palette, in a neutral property. It doesn't necessarily have to be white. White can look stunning in most areas, but an off-white, a cream, that's fine too.
Yeah. Great. Well, look, there's some really interesting information there, and I appreciate you being in the studio today. Thank you so much for coming in, Ros. It's excellent. Before we go, we're going to take a look at some hot properties. that's the end of the show. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're currently in the market for a home, then check out our new website, smartrealestate.tv, where we have all the property videos of the homes we're currently selling. Next week, we take a trip to Meadows to look at SA's finest, and we'll be bringing you the latest property news in our inside story. So we'll see you then next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. But for now, let's go to some more hot properties.